Julian here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do Lo-Fi House vocal chops. Now, as usual, you can get the project file and samples, MIDI, and presets from this video in the description for just $5. And yeah, let's dive in. So, I'm going to be going over how I did these two different styles of vocal chops. What I wanted to do with this video was kind of, not necessarily make a comprehensive guide, but because there isn't just one style of vocal chops, I wanted to try to do a few different ones. So I have this one, and then this one. So the way I made the first one is, and this is kind of like a technique that I hear a lot, is essentially what I did was I grabbed these little vowel samples. And what I mean by vowel samples is I went through like a bunch of different vocal things I had on my computer, recordings I had done, little vocal sample packs, stuff like that, and just went through and found like clean vowels. So as you know, when you're speaking or singing, there's like vowel sounds and there are consonant sounds. The vowel sound is like ooh, ah, e, I, o, all that kind of stuff, and then a consonant would be like an S or a T or something like that. The thing about it is that vowels have more of a pitch, or at least they tend to do. You don't really get much of a pitch when you say S or T or something like that. But when you say like E, that you can see how that could kind of be a note. So what you have to do is if you're gonna grab little chops like this, you have to get vowel sounds. So that's what I did. And then I pitched some of them up and down too, like this one here. I pitched up, and it's the same as this one, or it's the same vowel sound as this one. If you look here, the file name is the same, but it's pitched up too. So yeah, it's really pretty simple. Like once you get a few, like I said, like I kind of like to just go through and just get a few and start with them, and then go from there. And also there are all of these ones included in the description on my Bandcamp for just $5 with this project file. Anyway, yeah. So like, once you get a lot of them, it's really just a matter of like playing around with rhythms and trying to get something interesting and creative going rhythmically. So that's kind of what I did here. I mean, I just have this little pattern. It's nothing super special, but it would definitely work in a track. Now as far as processing goes on this sound, it's actually pretty simple. Basically, I just have an auto filter, and the reason for this is because I'll show you. For Lo-Fi House, this kind of had a little bit too much high end, so I just cut it a little bit with the with the low pass filter, and I added a little bit of resonance on there, which you can hear gives it a nice bump around like there, and helps with the whole lo-fi thing. The next thing I have on here is the saturator, which is using the A Bit Warmer preset. If you don't know, A Bit Warmer, wow, there we go. I clicked on audio effects and it was right there. But yeah, it's the first preset under Ableton Saturator. It's just a nice way to get a little bit of saturation without too much hassle. So that's what I have on there. And it's also working a little bit with this auto filter because since we have this resonance up here and there's a little boost, the saturator is getting more input at that frequency, around those frequencies that are being boosted. And thus, those frequencies are getting a little bit more distorted than everything else, and it's giving it like a nice kind of warmer effect. So yeah, and then the next thing here is a little reverb, which is really simple. I just have this to add a little space. I think I just played around with the dry wet and the decay time a little bit. And then we just have this compressor side chaining into the kick. Pretty simple. So yeah, like the main things there with the processing are just the filter and the saturator, really. Like just sort of trying to get those two to work together can go a long way with really like anything in Lo-Fi House, but especially these vocals. So the next one I'll show you is this one, and this one is actually a little bit simpler. It's just this. But I wanted to put something in here like this because this is also a very popular style of vocal chops in house music, and Lo-Fi House. Is like when you get like some kind of phrase and just repeat it, and then have some kind of like, some kind of little rhythmic thing. Like in this case, this one really works, it kind of has like a groove to it, and so you're getting rhythm as well as lyrics, and then as well as like melodic content from this. So it's an interesting way to do vocal chops, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Like I much prefer doing this kind of stuff when I'm doing my own vocal chops. I think it's just really catchy, and it's a lot easier to kind of like work with as well. I think it's it's definitely an interesting technique. So the way I did this was I took these little things that I had. I'll show you. So I took a few little phrases. I have these. I believe I just have two. Yeah. So there's this one.
I know that I've been missing. I know.
And then this one.
But I'm foolish.
And so essentially I just grabbed those and pitched them up. I think I did +4, yeah, just whatever made it sound in tune with the chords. Know that I've been missing. I know that I've been missing, but I'm so yeah, pretty simple. And then I just have that little but I'm foolish at the end there. And yeah, again, this is just a matter of like kind of playing around with it. I recommend, one thing I do recommend for this is finding vocals where you have to speed them up to get them to fit with house. Like maybe take something around 90 or 100 BPM, because what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of rhythmic stuff that happens that works, or that may be, sounding one way at 90 BPM, and it'll sound very different at 120 or 123 like we're at here. So it's cool. It's a cool way to kind of play around and just sort of get happy accidents. Now as far as the processing on this one goes, it's pretty much the same as the other one, honestly. I mean, these 3 effects are the same: the sidechain, the reverb, and the a bit warmer. The only thing I did do here was I used the same auto filter. I used the same low pass filter, I should say, but I did put the frequency up a little bit. And that's just to fit like where these were kind of hitting frequency-wise. So really pretty simple. And I mean, like I said, once you kind of get it down to the more like logical thinking of like, okay, I'm going to find a phrase, or I'm going to chop up some vowel sounds or something like that, it becomes a lot easier. Like, it seems very daunting when you're just when you're just hearing tracks with no knowledge or no understanding or no process, trying to like put this stuff together. But once you have like more of a logical pathway to it in your mind, I feel like it becomes a lot easier, and that's definitely, helped me. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. Make sure to let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe, and maybe even share the video if it helped you out. Once again, you can get the project file and samples and MIDI and presets from this video in the description for just $5. And yeah, I will see you guys again tomorrow with another tutorial.